Hi, Michael. My name is Daphne. I'm one of the essay correctors here at IELTSpodcast.com. Thank you so much for sending us your essay for correction. And it would be really interesting to know if you've done IELTS before, what your IELTS journey is, what band you need, and what you've scored before. That always helps us just work with you and make sure we give you the best feedback possible. It's a really good idea to get feedback before the exam. It does help you to improve. This is a really interesting essay. Some people claim technology products have too short a lifespan. I've just highlighted the kind of key things in the question here and become redundant after a few years. They say the only way to increase product longevity is for governments to make legal requirements, and to what extent. So you're absolutely right. We want your opinion coming in here. You've put that in here at the beginning, at the end, which is exactly right. Well done. To increase the product's lifestyle. Okay, so it's true that a wide range of devices are projected to work for a limited amount of time. So I would say that it's true that I think you can make it a little bit more general here. Your first statement needs to be a little bit more general. So maybe say that in today's world where society, maybe not we, is permanent, is so well connected. Something like that, just to expand this opening statement. A wide range of devices are, so wide range of devices, you need a plural verb here, are projected to work for a limited period of time. Projected, or even maybe better, programmed to work for a limited period of time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just my corrections, I will just put them in italics so you can see where I'm going. This is kind of to improve the kind of coherence of the whole thing, just get the balance of paragraphs right. While I accept that this may suit the companies who. So relative clause here, you need the relative pronoun who, because companies are people which produce them. I believe this is impractical for customers, and authorities should intervene. Now, spelling here, intervene, V-E-N-E, not V-I-N-E. So that's just spelling. Obviously, you've done that all the way through, but by changing the laws in order to extend the viability of these kinds of goods. So plural, these kinds of goods. Okay, so nice opening paragraph. That's looking good. You've got your opinion in here. You've made a statement as to kind of tell me where you're going. So you're signaling, you're signposting to the examiner. This is what I'm going to talk about. What I need you to do is have one more sentence here. This essay will discuss the benefits of such interventions with examples from. Now, we at IELTSpodcast.com have a really good online course. You may have looked at our courses before. If not, have a look on the website. And the courses, one particular one which you might like, is all about writing, and especially writing these task 2 essays. We focus on task 2 and obviously academic or general task 1 as well. One of the things we look at here is building paragraphs, and this paragraph as well. And this one you have got an example. This one you haven't when you need one. So we talk about adding examples to make sure your essays have each paragraph is coherent and precise and clear. And this is really important in terms of the coherence and cohesion, and also helps you on the task achievement, make sure you've answered the question correctly. So here you need to introduce your essay. On the one hand, there would be an impractical measure if the governments would intervene with strict laws. Now, you've got a second conditional sentence here, so make sure you get it right. On the one hand, there would be, or even could be actually, be impractical measures, or maybe it could be impractical for. I think would be better. It could be impractical for governments to introduce measures which well, no, let's go with yours first. Okay, so you need to correct this conditional. So with what you got, there could be an impractical measure if the governments intervened with strict laws on this issue. So remember, your second conditional has would in one part of the sentence and simple past on the other half of the sentence. So you don't have would and would. So just if you're not sure on second conditional, revise that. Write 10 sentences using that second conditional. Would on the one half and then simple past on the second half. You could, however, change it. There could be impractical implications if governments intervened with strict laws on this issue. Okay, so impractical measures, or the better collocation, the words which go together, would be implications. Implications. Okay, that's a quite useful word. At its simplest, companies who, again, produce these kinds of items, so okay, these kinds of items may not have the right resources to extend the operating period, either, just spelling here, just the other way around, TH, because they do not have sufficient advanced, so quite a few spelling errors here, ANCED knowledge to expand the longevity of all the products they may produce. Hang on. Where's the sentence going? Either because they do not have sufficient advanced knowledge to expand the longevity, or the products they may produce longer lasting would become extremely expensive. Products they, or the products, you don't need that because it's getting too complicated. The products, if developed to be longer lasting, would become, or could, or might, so use all these modal verbs, become, spelling, watch out there, you want this spelling. You just the infinitive there. So infinitive coming after the modal verb. Just check out on the grammar if you're not happy about that. Extremely expensive and therefore inaccessible to the vast majority of the population. Okay, let's look at that paragraph. You've got, I love your ideas. Okay, so you've got great ideas. You're explaining this very clearly. You've got some nice, there's a second conditional there, but you can tidy that up. At its simplest, I really like that. Extend the operating period, right resources, advanced knowledge. You've got some really nice vocab in here. Great. What we need to do is just build this paragraph. So here you've got a topic sentence. Here you develop it really nicely. And I think you need to have here, for example, recent research from Oxford University or wherever you want, doesn't matter, has shown that. And you need to make up an example which will back up with the point you've just made. Okay, and so I think that would be really, really important. That's how, there's a little module on this in the course. We talk about building the essay in 12 sentences. It's really works. We get some really good results, which is great. So just building these paragraphs so they are clear and precise and coherent. Okay, these examples are important. On the other hand, it may not, for most people, it is not a practical dream. Now, you can't really have a practical dream. You can have a practical reality. It's not a practical reality to replace a mobile phone or TV every other year. It's well known that this is great. Most technology products, such as, lovely for an example here, perfect, great work, washing machines, have a limited, now it's a, and then limited, your adjective comes in here, limited warranty period. Consequently, consumers are placed in a situation where they have to spend more money. Rather than have to, you could say here they are obliged, so a little bit stronger, to spend more money on replacing these goods instead of investing money in their well-being or other financial projects. So always add an adjective where we can, just because we're showing great language here. Their personal well-being, okay, or other financial products. So we just put two little adjectives in here, showing the examiner lovely vocabulary. Great, your vocab is looking good anyway. For example, now here, this is good. Here we've got an example. So this paragraph is constructed better. A laptop has an average warranty between 2 to 3 years. However, rather than but, maybe just however would be better. Recent statistics have shown that this is actually just on paper, so watch out for these little connecting words. These items may show signs of failure much earlier. Therefore, governments ought to intervene and make legal requirements to set new standards towards New standards. I wouldn't put towards the companies. I would put enforcing the production of longer lasting. Okay, so it's just a little bit neater rather than repeating companies again, enforcing the production of, and you'd come into here, longer lasting technology products. Okay, this is a really nice paragraph. You've built this really well. So you see how this is better for having the topic sentence and the reason, then your example, then your therefore. That is great. Really good paragraph there, really nice. In conclusion, I agree with the view that government should intervene. Now, to what extent? Careful, come back to your question. To what extent? Don't forget this bit. Okay, I agree with the view that government should. So, I agree. Intervene to make the law more. Intervene through law. Yeah, to make new standards. Make me a better word than that. Introduce new standards and set operating parameters. Good for electronics and home devices. This, whilst you put a little concession here, whilst companies may not embrace these changes. So we're consumers. We need to have this word in here somewhere in this kind of essay. Consumers would be better protected. Okay. Maybe embrace these changes because of cost. Yeah. So a final little sentence like that, we're doing a concession. So we're saying whilst this could be good. So that's acknowledging the other side of the argument, what the companies think, which is also really important. And that just boosts your conclusion a little bit. Okay. So this is a nice essay. Well done. On this course that I'm very happy to recommend to you, I can give you a discount on that today and 2 free essay corrections. So we would work together. You'd have a total of 10 essay corrections balanced between task 2 and task 1. Access to the full course, which gives you the video modules. We work very, very carefully through the coherence, task achievement, answering the right question, bits of really cool high-level grammar, and also a lot of topical vocabulary which you need for these kind of essays. But that is a very good rating, well done, and yeah, hope you found that helpful.